Welcome to the Hesitant Hippy, the storytelling podcast of a millennial on a quest for meaning and joy. After ticking all the boxes by my mid-30s, I still felt something was missing. So I slipped out of my corporate heels and deep dived into the so-called conscious community. Think tantra temples, silent retreats, and psychedelic journeys. From consent to gurus, I come with all my judgment and share what actually happens behind the scenes, moment by moment. I'm Erin, your curious and cautious guide into a world where people cry with strangers, chant in tongues, and search for God in plant medicine. Come under the covers with me and I'll share everything I've learned so far. Okay, here we go. Who am I and what is all of this about? Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Erin O'Reilly. You can hear I've got a bit of an accent, but I won't yet reveal where I'm living or where I'm from. To protect the identities of the people that I interact with as these stories go along. And it's time to share all the secrets that I've uncovered over the last couple of years as I've moved away from my tech corporate lifestyle and dived into the world of the conscious community. I'm an educated queer woman. I've lived in many countries. The archetype of a successful millennial, to be honest, including having a high level of anxiety, completely overworking, having all sorts of experiences over the dating apps, living with friends, finding a home. Yeah, just all that sort of stuff. And how has all of this come about? Well, like most of my great stories, it starts with a guy, and that's a really long story. So we knew each other for a very long time, and we had a very interesting relationship that took many forms. And yeah, having not seen each other for, say, more than a year, we got together one afternoon, and he just seemed happier. And I thought, hey, like, what's going on? What's changed? And he told me that he'd discovered tantra. I thought, oh, Jesus, no, he's in some sex cult now. God, no wonder he's got a smirk on his face. At the same time, he just seemed relaxed and happy. And I thought, God, if I had 10% of that energy right now, my life would just be so much easier and more enjoyable. And I want a little bit of what he's got. So I asked for some information. And then a few weeks later, one Sunday afternoon, with all my clothes on, with no intimate touching, I attended an introduction to Tantra. And then I got really, really, really sick. Like, my mom came to live with me. I was in the hospital sick. I wouldn't necessarily call it the dark night of the soul. But, you know, when everything's going well, there's no reason to question your life choices. You're winning. You're being rewarded. Everything is as society expects. Job, partner, house, marriage, baby, next baby, promotion, holidays, empty nest, and yeah, retirement. So our parents' generation did this really easily. Lived in small towns, had loads of job and wealth opportunities. There was no need to reflect on what you want when you just keep getting so much of what pleases you and everyone around you. Our generation, however, is living with housemates until our 30s, stressed, anxious, burned out with our work, fed up with it. Yeah, whereas the default previously was happy, or at least happy enough not to break out of the system. And today it seems like the default is of a broken system, and people are worrying constantly and looking for a silver bullet in the form of a yoga retreat, a crypto portfolio, a new job, a new relationship, a pet, CrossFit, padel, a women's circle with cacao, men's hiking trek into the forest, ayahuasca, mushrooms, veganism, superfoods, Bali, Ibiza, Tantra, Jesus, Coachella, Burning Man, Glastonbury, you name it. So, yeah, what do I hope to uncover and discover? While our parents all fit in, we're all desperate to break free. And I want to find the thing that we're all searching for. What is it? Where is it? Are there practices that I can do to change how I see the world, how I feel in the world? Like, mindfulness and meditation is now mainstream, even for the most uptight company vice president. Religion and modern churches are making a resurgence, especially with younger people. Psychedelics are also becoming more mainstream. Now, to be fair, our parents in the 60s and 70s knew a thing or two about psychedelics, but now it's being integrated into medical and psychological experiments and research. And many of us are ditching our phones to have screen-free evenings and weekends to build better connections with our friends, ourselves, or just get out in nature. And all of these things feel like they can do me good, like they can teach me something, and that I can be happy in my day-to-day life if I use these more on a regular basis. So I went into this with a mission to find a set of tools. I was goal-oriented and I was very naive as to what I would actually uncover. So what happened when I got into this world? God, if I knew then what I know now, I would never have done this. I wouldn't have begun. And yet I'm so glad I did, because while originally I wanted to learn tools and take them with me, what I discovered is that I actually want to live in a very different way. I don't want to live in a world where I need tools just to get through the week. I want to feel at ease and to thrive again. And I've had that feeling before, but it was superficial. I was feeding off of my success and how impressive everyone else around me thought I was. My ego was enjoying it, and therefore I had no reason to change anything. Until I started to get sick, and until I recognized that I couldn't be happy in a relationship, until I started getting frustrated with being single, not getting the promotion, watching yet another beautiful sunset alone. I wanted to be surrounded by people with whom I can have profound conversations, play like a kid, connect over something other than Friday night drinks or work similarities. And in this world, the hippieverse, as I like to call it, it's full of these people who are patient and loving and accepting and welcoming and curious and open. And also narcissistic, very sexual, hurt, ignorant, egocentric, and opportunistic. It's as much of a minefield as Wall Street is. And somehow I seem to be able to keep living in the mainstream world, and I want to keep living here with my job, my educated friends, my adventurous, comfortable travels, doing normal things day to day, while I can also literally dance my way through a cacao ceremony, scream like I'm in childbirth, and channel energy moving through my body and that of the person I'm interacting with in a tantra temple. So I'm very good at looking like a fully fledged hippie, and it feels great. And that's also now a part of me. So it's like Stranger Things, the TV series. One half of me has got a foot in the regular world, and the other half of me is in the upside down. And I now know both worlds equally well, and I can navigate through them both. So that's why I'm sharing this now. I can't contain it anymore. I was actually writing 2 books on a completely different topic, but when I talk to friends about this stuff, their eyes light up like teenage girls at a sleepover talking about a first kiss. Tell me more, tell me more. So the time has come to take these stories from WhatsApp voice notes into the big bad world. You are very welcome to come under the covers with me on this bumpy and surprising journey. I hope you get the enjoyment of the highs of this ride and the lessons rather than the pain of the lows. And that's all for today, friends. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, send it to 1 or 2 of your friends who might love or need a peek behind the scenes. For highlights and hints of what's to come, follow at The Hesitant Hippy on Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you'd like more of this in your ears, tap follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. Until next time, be curious and stay mindful.